Good evening, everyone, and welcome to something refreshing, new, and fascinating. Namely, I will do a compound and full video of Guardians of Atlantis 2. I intend, this is like a perfect plan. What I will do is do gameplay tutorial plus a review. So whenever someone has no knowledge about the game, this is the video and I intend to not also show how the game works, explain it how the game works, so you uh, will know if the game is for you or not, but also share my emotions and impressions regarding the game. So you can go from zero through this video to knowledge with quite high level of certainty if it's a game for you or no. So it is such a perfect plan that obviously it cannot work because if someone doesn't know nothing about the game, do they want to sit through a 2-hour video on a game? Probably not. If you know something about the game, then probably you would look for specific information, not a full complex video on this topic. So who is this video for? Probably me. I think this is fun, but also, you know, maybe someone will like it. We'll see. So, what is Guardian of Atlantis? It is an interesting tactical game or team combat game, basically. When you play 2v2 or 3v3, every player picks a unique character. Each character has a set of cards. You play card each turn, 4 cards, 4 turns per round. You move around the map, you kill minions, you attack your opponents, you do some tricky stuff, and with cooperation with your allies, you try to win against your enemies, broadly speaking. It is a quite complex and quite fun game. The cooperation stuff is fun. There is a lot of, you can say, soft rock, paper, scissors mechanics. And we will see soon. Every card that you start, every character starts with 5 cards: one gray, one gold, one green, one red, and one blue. And every character has those 5 colors, and every character has always access at the time to 5 cards, each of one color. Those colors mean something, they have some code for some clarity, better understanding of the game, and faster learning. But for now, we'll ignore that. Just shortly say that each card has a big number in the corner that means initiative. The higher this number, the faster you go. If you have any experience in tactical games, you know that having high initiative can be good, going before opponent, but also having very low initiative can be very good uh, because you can go after everyone and react to what everyone does. The character I picked for this game is Mrak. It is Rocky Disruptor Tank character, and his initiative is really bad, which means that is very in the middle. This character lacks high initiative cards and lacks low initiative cards. So, well, as you can immediately see, designer of the game knew what they're doing, because if someone had, yeah, I think this is simple enough. Uh, then cards have some numbers on the defense and movement, and some abilities. Most of the card, almost every card, can be played as defense, as movement, and then as some ability. At the beginning of the round, our team of 3 characters is starting in a so-called fountain, and we need to move to this middle area where there are minions, so we can protect our minions, kill enemy minions, and interactive opponents. Here start opponent minions. First round is usually the setup, just moving around, feeling your opponents, and getting on the board. Not much is happening, so it is perfect round to see how the game works. Let's go over it. So everyone placed a card from the hand face down, and whenever everyone has placed their cards, simultaneously you flip the card, and according to initiative, everyone uh, acts. So I have highest initiative and tied with my opponent. We both have 8. There are 6s, 5s, 4, and 3. So we go first. What do we do in case of a tie? If two allies tie with each other, they can just say you go first or you go first. And when enemies tie, there is a tie coin. When it's tied between enemies, enemies of the color that the coin shows go first. We flip the coin, and then the second player goes. In this case, this opponent goes first, and then they will flip the coin and I'll go next. Yep. So cards have their movement values, which mean how many hexes you can go, but there is to make the game faster and less boring when you spend multiple cards doing nothing, just moving. There's a rule of fast travel, just a short rule. In some cases, when there are no enemies around, you can move fast very far. And let's stick to that, a very robust explanation for now. At the beginning of the game, uh, in most cases, everyone is just fast traveling to positions. I'm playing slow character. I'm on a red team. I want to go to the closest uh, blue enemy, and this is it. I can go here, and when you can see, most of my cards have only 3, 2, or 1 boots. So if I fast travel here, I am only 2 away from the closest enemy, which is good to be for for very slow character. And similarly, enemies move around, allies move around, and this is just a little bit of a setup. It is decent time to look around, learn what numbers enemies have, what uh, abilities do they have, and to get a little bit before fighting with enemies, you have a little bit of time to get familiar with what is happening. So this was turn 1 of round 1. Everyone played 1 card from the hand, and they slotted, as you can see here, to this slot. This card is out there, it lies there until the end of the round. In most cases, when you play a card, you cannot play it until next round, because at the end of the round, you get those cards back, and then you have smaller hand to play for the rest of the round. I used my card to just get close to the enemy, and I want now a slow initiative card to move up to the minion, to just kill it, to have some money and fight for the wave, whatever that means for now. And I want to go a little bit later to see how enemies position, to have a little bit of an overview. This is the point when you are picking the cards, when you are allowed to talk with your team and strategize, and it can be fun part. As in games like that, there is a rule that whenever you give some information to your team, the same information needs to be available for your opponents. You can have few approaches to that, but I think it is a neat rule when you can speak of some general strategies or what do you intend to do. Or sometimes you prefer to not speak about your intentions to not spoil it to your enemies, which can be decent because it also reduces like talking time. If you were able to speak about everything in detail, who goes where and what does, probably that this game would be much faster. And I think mm, this this rule is pretty neat because if you have to communicate something, you can, but also not to uh, go into too mundane details. But when the cards are out and they're flipped, it is middle of a turn of resolution, no one should talk and discuss anything. It is time for action, not for strategizing, communication, or changing plans. Also to make the game faster, but also to embrace thinking by yourself and not just, uh, the sometimes happens like alpha players in various games when they just tell everyone what to do. There is a lot of which is interesting, like soft rules. You can say like uh, designers' intentions, how the game is intended to play, and I think this really works really well. And these are some really smartly done because it reduces time play, reduces needless consultation, and really puts pressure on action. And sometimes, doing something maybe doesn't work, you learn from it, and you go forward. I have actually problems myself with not talking. I usually talk too much, and sometimes I'm reminded by other players that I shouldn't be talking in this period. But who's who doesn't have their faults? But I try to work on that, especially that whenever I play a little bit longer. So you can see usually round one people play green cards to just move around. Turn one of first turn. Turn two, there is a little bit more color because various cards have various numbers on them that allow you to uh, move different distances on different initiative. Everyone is positioning usually round one. In most cases, it is about killing one minion, one opponent minion. Sometimes you can do some tricks, sometimes you can try something, but in general, this is a good baseline uh, for the game. This is why this is such a, in my opinion, a good showcase game because it is just standard play. Everyone does the standard stuff, and then we go further. I'm next to enemy minion. Basically, everyone apart from this player has a minion next to them, so they can kill a minion. Killing minions is important because you get gold, and when you get gold, you can upgrade your hero and your cards. Uh, so sometimes risking some funny business can result in you not killing a minion and then regretting it by a lot. So yeah, I get 2 coins. Killing most of the minions give you 2 coins. My card is a special card that places rocks in the line of my attack, which is funny. Sometimes can cut a map, can disrupt opponent movement, and can do a lot of interesting stuff. In most cases, people are just killing their first minion, and this is what this is all about. Introductory round, and more interesting stuff happens on the next round. Let's speed up slightly. Yeah, okay, so most of the players killed one minion. We have one player who just moved here and one player who just set up for their move. Now I have two decisions to do. I have silver card, that is disruptive card. I can put some rocks around opponent uh, to disrupt their movement and make more difficult for them to kill our minions next round, or I can move myself next to a minion so I can kill something myself. Uh, I just discussed with my allies, do they prefer for me to disrupt enemies, or do they prefer me to walk up to the minion? And my ally just said that, yeah, they prefer for me to go to the minions. So I just do that. Because as you can see, the silver card has no movement abilities. So just again, everyone passes card. Those who didn't kill minion, they kill a minion. Those who kill the minion, they position themselves for the next round. Now, why killing minions is important? So since we are at the end of the round, I can, and we got a little bit familiar ourselves with the game, I can explain a little bit of more of the core mechanics. And minions is important for two basic, for multiple reasons. One of these is whenever you kill enemy minions, you gain gold. Okay, getting gold is important because you are just more powerful. There's another thing that if you have more minions than enemy on the active uh, in the active how they're called active area, then if you have one more minion, you remove one minion from one enemy minion. If you have two minions, enemy loses two minions and so forth. And whenever there are no minions in the area, the lane pushes. The new area is active, it gets repopulated with minions, and one of the win conditions of the game is that you push the second area. Because if you win the first area, and then if you win the second area, you simply win. It represents like pushing to the base and conquering the base. But if the second area gets pushed by enemy, they defend, and the middle area becomes the active one again. So killing minions gives you win condition, but also resources to improve your hero. The other important thing is that whenever you stand next to a minion, in most cases, if it is your minion, they improve your defense, making you harder to kill. But if you stand next to enemy minion, they decrease your defense, making you easier to die and easier to kill. So minions also impact character combat. And these are like the core mechanisms that make the game interesting and on the map. Okay, now this is end of the round and I have 2 coins. To have first level up, I need to play 1 coin. So great, I have enough coins and I will have 1 coin left to level up. Second level up costs 2 coins, third level up costs 3 coins, and so on until you go to the high enough level that you can buy your ultimate, which happens actually very rarely. When you level up, if you can see on the right corner of the card, there is 1, 2, or 3. Everyone starts with 2 basic cards and 3 level 1 cards. The basic cards, gold one and silver one, stay with you for the entire game. The other cards you can level up. Whenever you level up, you have a choice which card of a color you take, and then one of the cards you take for their effect and you play them as you were seeing for the movement, for the ability, defense, and initiative. And the second card, the bottom of the card, is important because it is slotted as an item. And from now on, your stat is improved, either initiative, defense, attack, range, movement, or radius. So my character is slow, and I'm checking what I can do to level up to improve myself. This is interesting card, have quite neat ability. I can disrupt allies or help enemies by moving units around on the map. It can usually be very funny. But in this position, because I'm so far away and I'm slow character, I have very funny card. This is a movement card for my slow character that allows me to roll over the map. I can ignore obstacles, ignore minions, ignore units, and just roll over them as long as I roll over only one empty space and stand. And after that, I have to stop. So this is very unique because it allows me to actually cover a lot of space if positioned correctly. Very fun card. This is this is really funny. And also, whenever I level up this card, the second green card goes into my slot. I'm also considering maybe want to improve blue or red, but in the end, I will take a green one. Yeah, okay. Yes, so I improved my green one, so the previous green one goes out of the game for now. I mean, for now, will not be used anymore in this game. One of the level 2 greens goes as an item. From now on, my attacks are stronger, and the second is the card that I use. And as you can see, I'm in a very neat position for this green that, as I mentioned, allows me to roll over obstacles because this is obstacle, then I can go through the empty space and go back, so I can really fast go back next to enemies and next to my base area to defend the base. But I'm standing next to the enemy minion, and I decide, you know what, I just want to kill the minion for the money. Because if I kill at least one minion, I will have enough coins to get another level up at the end of this round. As you can see, gold cards are usually of the highest initiative available to you. Maybe I should actually explain with the silver cards. Silver cards are the wild card. They are very unique for, like extremely unique for every character. There are usually no hardcore rules to them, apart from they don't have movement, they don't have attack, and they have low defense in most cases. I happen to have high initiative card because this is disruptive card. Gold cards are one of your two attacks. Every character has two attacks, gold and red. And these are two attack cards in your deck, and usually these are one of the most important cards. Doesn't mean that the others are not important, but usually you play around how you can attack or threaten to attack. Gold cards are usually your highest initiative, apart from silver, which are, can be anything. And this is my highest initiative, 11. The gold cards also because have a lower attack value, but the main strength is the initiative. Because I have the highest initiative out of your cards, they have the lowest defense, the lowest movement, and low attack value. I decided for now, I don't think I will need much of initiative this round, but maybe I will need more movement, more defense, or more attack later. So that's why I decided to just hit with the gold card here to kill the minion. Yeah. So we are killing some of the minions. Our opponents are killing minions. We are killing minions, and earning some money. Our only issue here is that because of how our opponents were able to coordinate and we were not able to coordinate, just because of how our heroes worked, me and one of my allies killed one of the minions, but our opponents were able to kill all the rest of the 3 minions, clearing this area. And because they killed all of our minions, it doesn't matter how many of their minions stayed, at least this is more than one, the wave pushes. So this is what I mentioned. And now minions are on our side of area. On the one hand, we have one more minion on this area, so if nothing happens, the wave will naturally push back to the middle. But this is dangerous because, as I mentioned, if enemies happen and manage to kill all of our minions here again, then they just win the game. So it is extremely important for us to not lose the wave, and this is very interesting and cool mechanism of this game, like dynamic of this game. This is quite often when some characters die. Usually, as you were able to see for now, we were just moving around killing minions, not really interacting between each other. But when we are forced to defend our base at all cost, sometimes we need to do it in a risky manner, and it can expose us to dying. But also, when we have that small advantage of the minions, and enemies don't push hard enough, and we know, and for example, we have the guarantee of winning the wave anyway, sometimes we have the spare time, a little bit more of our minions, to punch through and maybe catch careless opponent. So this is a very interesting dynamic of the wave and introduction of the minions that uh, that it breaks, like forces movement and some risk taking from characters, uh, and sometimes giving openings for interactions and fight. This is quite interesting position for me because I have the green card that I explained already that allows me to roll quite far to get closer to our side. And initially I was thinking, yeah, I will just roll and be closer there. But then I realized, you know what? This is when I can use that my disruption power of my character and use the silver card, which is quite interesting for this character actually. It has range 3. This is a skill. I target an enemy in range. I have only one enemy in range, but enough. This enemy here. And I place exactly 3 rock tokens in empty spaces adjacent to the target furthest away from me, which is interesting in a sense that I can like lock enemy into my direction. And it so happens that I can place rocks into these 3 locations, making it very inconvenient for the enemy to move around. Instead of just moving straight to the minion and maybe then killing them easily, I can lock them around, making their path much longer. But also, since I will place a terrain obstacle here, it will improve my green card, making me able to roll further than I initially planned. So this is that small neat trick that this character has as a disruptor. So people everyone is more or less planning, especially for our opponents, but also for us, who goes to the area to defend or attack, but also who can do what for other characters, because right now we're standing very close to each other, and you know, maybe ready to fight or disrupt. So my opponent, this is the opponent that I will be locking. They just played blue card with 2 movement, and they decided they probably wanted, obviously, to just position really fast and move toward our area. They probably played, yeah. But this is funny because my silver card is disruptive enough that it really makes it much harder for them to move around, because they would be able to go somewhere here and be closer to our minions, but right now they really need to move around, making their life more inconvenient. And making life inconvenient for enemies is fun. And yeah, our next in line is initiative 10. So this is our ally, and they probably will just use, they'll just use boots 3 to just move closer. Then next in line is our ally with initiative 9. They also have 3 boots, quite mobile characters, and they use, this is funny, they use my chain of terrain to position next to themselves and make so that this enemy is even further away from our minions, basically locking them this round. It is next to impossible for them to reach the minions. Probably worth to mention that you cannot move over terrain, you cannot move over those over tokens, and you cannot move over units, so the heroes and the minions. So there's some tactical play now that this is really fun, that that fight over minions is so key and central that there is a lot of indirect combat, not just blow for blow, you attack, I defend, or some place like that, but a lot of plays and competition is around movement, positioning, and fighting for the wave, like in many MOBA games. And this is very fun, that when a game has multiple how to say it, that the game has multiple areas over which you can fight, not just trying to kill each other, but also uh, to for position, for tactics, and fighting over the wave. And this is tactical game, but most of the time, you fight over minions, but it is fun. If you just want to be killing each other, there are characters that are focused on that, but if you just want a bloodbath when you just keep hitting each other with enemy, then probably this is not a game for you. But if you like that tactical multi-level game where you position against your enemy and yourself, and there's a lot of killing enemy is harder, not necessarily because they have a lot of hit points, or it is hard to position yourself or stuff like that. But it is because mostly about position and planning around. Yeah. So this is the red card. I explained silver card as a wild card. Not much explanation, but what can you do? I explained gold card. Gold cards are the highest initiative. They're attacks, where you have only 2 attacks with your deck, gold and red. And red is the second attack that every character has. They are low on initiative, usually the second lowest card in your deck. They have higher attack. They have one of the highest defense in your deck and highest movement. Apart from initiative, when the gold card is your card with highest initiative and every stat is lowest, the red card usually has second lowest initiative, but all other stats are the highest. Because this is the range attack, this is you can compare to my card, my red card in hand. Because this is the range card, it naturally has all of stats lowered, lower defense, lower movement, lower attack. My card, because it is melee, has much higher stats, and this is the neat balancing of the game, because being able to attack from range is very powerful, and it is well balanced in that way. So this is my ally is attacking. This is a weird character that has abilities depending on the Thai coin, and he can shoot at something at a unit in range that is not in a straight line. So what does he do? He obviously he can also move with that card, but he picks an enemy, this enemy that stays here, It is not in a straight line, so it shoots for 3 damage. Actually 4 damage because he has an attack item, and that's how attacks items improve. Now, what does it do? Whenever you attack someone, that character needs to defend or die. There are no hit points in this game. If you don't defend, you simply die, move to the fountain. Actually, we'll go over that very soon, which is funny. But right now, our enemy decides to defend. It means that they need to show from hand a card that defends for the value the same or higher as the attack. Attack card showed 3 attack and 1 item for 4 damage in total. And this player played with a card that has 4 defense. So he survived, he defended. The issue is now that when you have 5 cards in hand, if you defend once, then you have 4 cards left over 4 turns. So if you are attacked in round 4, you die in most cases. And this is a neat case that you can kill enemy by hitting them 2 times or by hitting once very, very strong over all of the defense. And yeah, the card goes to the discard pile, making that player vulnerable. It is actually their turn now, and it is tricky. If they will go too close to me, they can check my card, I can follow up, and then tie coin goes to red, to us. So if he has only red card left, because silver is in a discard, blue, green, and gold are played, so he has only red card left. And I will have red card left. If we stay next to each other, our characters are of similar initiative, but I will have a tie coin. If we both play our reds, I can kill him because he will have no cards in hand. And there is high chance I will do this before he will play his red. So he moves away from me, hoping to not die. Now I trigger my... since he moved away that I cannot follow him, I use my green to just roll over as far as possible to next to enemy minion, so I can kill the minion for coins and protection of our wave. And then some positioning by other enemy and other ally. We continue on playing our cards. I personally don't have much choice here. There can be some considerations, but not too important right now. I have my attack in hand. I'm standing next to the minion. I want to kill the minion so I can get money and I can protect our wave and our base. Yeah, everyone is playing cards. We have a lot of attack cards, a lot of red cards that were left for the last round. And this is interesting because, again, my ally has placed the gold card, the fast initiative card. It is also shooting attack. And since the coin is on red, it allows him to enemy hero in range. It is very cute because that enemy has no cards in hand because they were attacked last round. They cannot defend at all, so they die. Now, what does it mean? It means that these tokens here are life tokens. They mean how many times you can die. The higher level the hero, the more life tokens the team loses for each death, and also the hero that killed gets some coins, and each of his allies gets half of the kill coins. So this is the second win condition of the game, which is kill enemies enough time so they run out of life tokens. And as you can see, the death happened in the middle of the transition between lanes, which is like I think one of the common scenarios here. And yeah, so our enemies kill minions, I kill a minion, and we're pretty decently positioned because now there's three of us on our uh, beach because it is literally a beach next to the sea, and one of the enemies is in a fountain. It means that our enemies should be very careful because for a short period of time it is 3v1. I'm very happy overall because thanks to the kill that my ally got and thanks to the minions that I killed, I have enough coins, 2 coins and then 3 coins to level up on the second and third level so I can improve 2 of my cards and getting 2 items. I want to really put emphasis of my character on that basic high stats of attack and defense. So some of the cards I take, I simply plan around the items that I get more than anything else. So I level up my cards and we go to the next round. This is the third round. This is usually the tricky part when sometimes you discuss who wants to do what is the plan. Should I go for the minions? Should I pressure my opponents? What should I do? But in this case, I made a quite basic decision, which is first, play green card, which is the slow card, to see what happens. And yeah, here it is interesting because my ally has a very unique card. This is a very specific character that plays around obstacles. They can shoot an enemy in range, which is only range 2, but enough to shoot this enemy. And if that enemy is around 3 obstacles, and they are because there's 2 terrain next to them, they can repeat attack, killing the minion, which is very neat. They weaken an enemy, and then they kill the minion, actually doing both things that I mentioned. Do you pressure enemy or do you kill a minion? One of the enemies also has a shooting skill, and they killed another minion, so they're not staying too far behind, and so our minions can be slightly in danger still. And I decided, you know what, if that's the case, I will just first and foremost focus on killing minions. I don't want to lose the game early, especially that I was recording the game. Uh, you know, that I wanted to show. It would be sad if I just if the game would be too short. Especially that this enemy that got hit, they have a very interesting teleport ability and they go after me. So even if I try to walk up to them, they can just defensively teleport away, which actually is what they did right now. So preemptively, I decided, you know what, I don't want all that stuff. I don't want to chase and then make them run away and me waste turn. Well, maybe one of the last of the opponents in the corner, they start killing stuff. No, I decided that I just walk up to the minions because this is the safe bet, and sometimes you need, I mean, safe bet. I did expect enemy, not to stay here alone when they actually got hit already once, and they don't even seem like having a good prospect of killing a minion or doing anything too valuable. So yeah, we discussed the plan with our allies, and this is where the open discussion takes place. And I said that, if this ally kills this minion, and I use my red to kill this minion, I can use my gold to kill the last minion here. Worth noting that I didn't mention before, there are three types of minions: melee, ranged, and super minions, or heavy minions. The, the rule I will only mention right now is that the heavy minions work the same as melee minions, which is that they increase allied heroes around defense by 1, but they decrease enemy heroes defense by 1. But also they are immune to anything as long as there are any other allied enemies on the board. So to kill this minion, we need to first kill these two minions. This forces to play around tactically. Also, not you just don't kill any minions closest. Sometimes you need to plan around how to move, how to kill the minions in a proper order, which is also quite interesting and adds some mm, complexity to the game, that it isn't so it isn't the decisions aren't always that straightforward, and it is also telegraphed what will be the last minion to be fought for, which is quite important here. So this is where I tell to my ally that this is our allies that I think it may be a decent plan that my ally kill this minion, I kill this minion, and next round I kill this minion. So it telegraphs to my ally that he can position himself somewhere, and then for the last two rounds he can try kill two minions in the new active area. When our enemies are bunched here, and it will be hard for them to cooperate to kill two minions, maybe one, but two minions can be very difficult, and this is far away and probably won't reach any minion in time. So this is our plan, we discussed this, and let's see how it goes. So we build cards. I skipped over a little bit, but okay. Here my ally killed one minion according to plan. This ally is repositioning on the board and on the other side of the board, close to the enemy minions, where he'll be able to safely kill one or two minions. And what next? I'm waiting and checking on the level ups. Because now opponent is choosing what to do with their card. They move a lot too. Now I can kill the minion for the sweet coins. Very important coins. Yeah. And our enemy's position. And this now interesting thing will happen, because I thought that my enemy will move through the side like he initially intends to prepare to go into the next area and prepare for the fight, but instead he goes here, which I didn't initially pay attention to, but it actually is quite funny and interesting because of our plan being so telegraphed with what we want to do. I didn't even consider what is about to happen, and I just went according to the plan, playing my attack card to kill that last minion that is also worth more gold than regular minions. So it is really sometimes valuable to kill them. And now what the enemy did, he has actually special ability on his gold card is that he killed this minion and he is able to move any unit adjacent to the target of his attack one space. So he moved the target of my attack one away, and he disrupted my plan because it was too telegraphed and too obvious. So he was able to mess up my plan of killing minions and then coordinate with my allies. Uh, and yeah, nasty stuff. That was well played by him. Uh, quite interesting play. And again, showcasing the how much you can do with some neat abilities. On one hand, it sounds like quite limited ability. You just move one unit one space away, like one spot, and in this case, it allowed him his attack allowed him to kill one minion and deny me a kill too, which is fun. And what makes this game so like dynamic, but also very uh, complex. Definitely, I can see that some people could be annoyed in such a scenario. You know, you go to the game, you don't know too much, you have some plan, try to execute it, and then there's so many abilities and so many possibilities that it is easy to miss something, to not know what every character can do at every moment, and be easily disrupted. But on the other hand, it is really fun to disrupt enemies like that. Last round, me and my ally disrupted enemy, which lead to their death. This round, I got disrupted uh, by an enemy. So if you like that number of various possibilities, abilities, that every character has 5 cards. Those cards can be used for movement, abilities, attacks. With time, you level up those cards, changing their abilities or improving your abilities. It is something that excites you. This is very exciting game. But if you like more of a stable gameplay where it is easier to comprehend all of the possible combinations, oh man, this game can be really surprising and chaotic. It can be sometimes irritating to be constantly surprised and definitely feel uncomfortable with what your allies want to do, what they can do, what enemies can to do. Sometimes you die, don't know why. Sometimes uh, you are disrupted, you don't know why. But with some time that you spend, especially if you play one character multiple times and you are very comfortable with what you can do, you can spend some brain power watching cards of other players and watching have that spare like brain power, yeah, to mm, memorize what they can do, to watch what they can do, that it is easier to plan around what is happening and what can happen. And then this game is very various no, this game is very rich in gameplay. Yeah, it is especially when you have some plans or coordination with your allies, when you surprise your enemies or synchronize really well with your allies, it is uh, can give you a lot of satisfaction. So if you don't like being frustrated during the game, you will be frustrated a lot. But if you are ready to pay or have some patience to go through some frustrations of being surprised, and you accept the reward that is having the great satisfaction of surprising or cornering enemies, then yeah, this can be really cool game. In the meantime, my ally is put some heavy lifting here and killed one of our opponents, but that was it. Also, this that character can be quite chaotic to understand what they can do, and simply our opponent didn't fully understand what they can do and died to that, which is the irritating part. But actually, for now, it is a little bit evening out. I got surprised by my opponent action, which in theory I had time to see and understand because I saw their card multiple times. But in the game, when there's a lot of happening, sometimes you simply don't have that uh, concentration to be able to uh, like put into your brain that it is that something that you saw already happen, that it is something that can happen in the future. Because yeah, a lot of is happening in this game, and every round is apart from the first one, but sometimes also first one, every round is very intense with a lot of action happening. So I have 5 cards in hand. I got some gold. I had some level ups. I have my silver card. I have my gold card, which is one of my 2 attacks. My highest initiative card and other stats are low. I have my red card with low initiative, but other stats are the highest. I have also my green card, which is the lowest initiative card, lowest movement, and lowest defense. But it doesn't mean that it is the worst, because the lowest initiative card is as important as the highest initiative card. That's why those cards are somewhat mirrored, right? The highest initiative card has the lowest card, and the lowest initiative, the highest initiative card has the lowest stats, and the lowest initiative card has also the lowest stats. Little bit higher stats because it is not an attack, and I think you can guess that being able to attack is very, very important and valuable. And the blue card is somewhere middle down the road. It is the second highest initiative, apart from gold. It is higher initiative than red. It is second most defensive card. So the highest defense card is usually red, unless the red is ranged attack. And it is also second most mobile card, which is like let's say middle compromise between gold and red, because it is second fastest apart from the gold, right? And second most highest defense and highest mobility, second to red. All characters in the game have some various tendencies to numbers, to those numbers: initiative, defense, mobility, and attack. My character has bad initiative, bad movement, but high defense and high attack. And obviously, you can imagine that there are every possible combination of those. Even there are some characters that have higher stats, but sometimes compensation in abilities, or lower stats but very important abilities. So we're in the middle. One enemy is dead. Our enemies are far. So there's not that much to plan for me right now. I just plan to go next to the minion, kill the minion, and either kill a second minion or disrupt our opponents. I'm looking at my blue that has quite neat ability that I can move units that are next to terrain or my rocks, move them around. It can sometimes disrupt enemies by making their attacks miss because I move them away or I move their target away. There's a lot of fun stuff that can happen. Now, when there is a lot of items and a lot of higher level cards, there is also a lot of more possibilities that characters can do. So there's a lot of more caution to dying potentially, because there is more opportunities that you will be surprised by some weird ability or high level attack that can punch through you. And the game is more dynamic with everything that happens around. Also, what you can notice, the wave, because we defended the wave on our beach, it went back to the middle, and it isn't that the wave goes that indefinitely until you lose life points or someone pushes through. There is obviously a time limit, maybe not time limit, but there's a limit. The third condition, uh, third and last one condition to win the game is win the last wave. And the last wave is the fifth wave. So if happen after first push, if wave is pushed to one of the beaches, if it is defended, it goes to the middle. And there's the third wave. Actually, there are tokens to count for that. If the third wave is being defeated and pushed to one of the beaches, obviously one of the team can win by pushing it all to the end, but if the defenders defend the wave, it goes back to the middle, and the fifth wave and third time, so the third time it is in the middle, the team that wins the push wins the game. So there are two win conditions around pushing the wave, and by pushing it all through the end through the to the enemy team, or winning the last wave, or by killing through all the life tokens. Now there's some weird stuff happening. I moved toward the minion. My ally is mispositioning some various tokens in multiple areas, which is weird stuff that they can do. And other characters are moving or preparing for the next turn. So now, so this is fun. Now, I have that blue card, I will show it, that has the ability that I mentioned, that in radius 4, I can move units around. And I have a read on my opponent here. I saw that he has arranged red card. Well, he has a minion here, our minion in range 2. So I expect him to use the red card to kill this minion. So I realize, you know what? I can use that blue card to push him away, so he will not be able to use the attack and kill the minion. Or alternatively, I can like push the minion away from him. That works too, right? Basically disrupting him so that he will not be able to kill the minion. But a little bit later, I decided against that. To be honest, I'm not sure why. Okay, I went too far because I don't want too much of waiting time. And I don't know why I decided against that. It would work fine because his red card has initiative 8 and initiative item, so initiative 9. My blue card has initiative 9, so it is a tie, but the tie coin is on our side, so it wins the tie, being able to push the enemy away. It would be really fun, especially that I can then repeat the ability and, for example, push uh, some of the other minions toward me, and would still be able to basically kill 2 minions while also disrupting our enemies. I'm not sure why I didn't go with that plan. I think it is slightly a shame, but okay. I still kill the minion, enemy kill the minion, so instead of doing some funny tricksy stuff, uh, I just went for killing minions. So yeah, my ally went here. I hit the minion, putting the rocks, a little bit of disruption going on. And other characters are moving around. I intentionally don't pay too much attention to what other characters are doing, because if I were, there would be a lot of going through abilities, stats, some side games going on the board, and it would be overwhelming. And it is overwhelming. But since this is the introductory video, I want to also showcase how you can play the game by simply ignoring half the board. You don't need to always know exactly what is happening everywhere. It is good to know, and it is fun to know if you have like the concentration and ability to do so. But it is not necessary to do so. I still can watch my close area, to what my close enemies and allies are doing, to have some plans, have some decisions, and basically have some fun. So this is my way of showcasing this very complex and rich game that you can easily bounce off, mm, like burdened by the heavy complexity and possibilities. How will I will watch in a new game so many characters and do anything that makes sense, right? So this is a little bit of an example. That's how. Still, you can follow some parts of the board. Still, you can have some plans, a little bit of decisions and disruptions around enemies, running around, fighting minions, and interacting with opponents either by fighting with them, but also by disrupting them. So again, enemies are moving around. Ally here took a minion, another ally took another minion. We are setting up to win the wave. Here, interesting thing happens. Uh, one of the enemies walks up straight up to our allies, and this should ring alarm bells that okay, he does this with an intention to heavily pressure my ally or simply kill them, right? So what can I do with that? I can do two things. I can either move up. My card has only 2 movement, but when I was leveling up, I leveled up the movement item. So each of my cards has +1 movement, very crucial for every character, but especially important for a character with low movement as mine. I would be able to move up and then threaten them that okay, you want to hit me? I can hit you back, right? With my super strong, packed with items, a very high attack card. I didn't know what are the exact numbers of the cards, So I decided that I will do a little bit different, and I will try to save my ally with a different play. First of all, I used ability to move this minion that was here toward me, because this minion was next to terrain, so I can move them. And then I moved this minion that was here next to the him. And remember, minions improve defense. So I hoped that this way I gave higher defense to my ally, basically uh, that maybe it will allow him to survive. And second, enemy positions to be able to charge in line. This is the specific ability of this specific hero, that his reds allow him to move multiple, like 2, 3, or 4 hexes in a line and then attack with a very strong attack. My enemy, this one that is close to me, is thinking a lot what they want to do, and after some time they decided to move here next to me and next to our minion, obviously intending to kill the minion. I naturally play my red because I want to kill the minion, but also that enemies next to me, it really made me thinking, like, can I kill them? My attack card is very strong with it hits for 7 plus 2, which is 9, and he is also next to a minion, my minion, and next to their minion. So I'm not sure is my strong card enough to kill. Now, unfortunately, our enemy just kills our ally. They don't have high enough defense to be able to defend, and they die. So I wasn't able to help them enough. This this player uses their gold card to kill a minion. Now it's the bull rush that I mentioned that allows. Wait, I think they are too far away to be able to charge so far, which is interesting. My ally positions himself to potentially fight over the wave next round. And now I'm thinking, do I want to kill a minion or do I want to smack the enemy? Sometimes in this position, it is usually safe bet to kill the minion, because you kill the minion, you get the gold. It is always valuable. But I'm thinking how high they are able to defend. My attack is very strong. They have also some defense items, so our items even out, but I'm just not sure if they defend from my strong card. So for the heck of it, I try it, and actually they have extremely high defense card. 7 defense is a lot and more than enough to defend from my attack. So, well, I wasted an attack, which is a shame. But sometimes you do this. And a last move opponent positions themselves for the next round to fight over the minions. Yeah, I don't have coins to level up. Our allies actually caught up with that kill and that minion deaths, so they will have a lot of items and a lot of gold to spend. Good for them. A shame. So what do I do now? I have an enemy next to me and a minion next to me. But I know that for sure this enemy can survive from my even strongest punch for now. So my basic decision is, do I want to disrupt? Do I want to kill a minion, or do I want to hit the enemy that is next to me? Even just tap them. So first of all, they will need to discard the card, limiting their options, but also maybe positioning them to be killed by my other allies later. What did I choose? I choose to use my red card. There are obviously some various decisions. Even if you want to take a minion, this is interesting. Do you want to use your weaker attack but higher initiative, or stronger attack but lower initiative? In this case, I decided that we are fighting over the wave, and if we lose the wave, we are slow and not. I don't like losing the wave and defending our beach, so I decided to try to push toward our beach. We have only few more minions to kill, and I have the gold card left in my hand. Why I decided to kill a minion with red card? Because my blue card is high defense and I have a defense item, so I can actually survive through a lot of attacks anyway, defend through a lot of attacks, so I don't need red card to defend. But I'm very slow and I don't have the initiative item, so I decided to just keep my gold card, my high initiative card, for simply the ability to potentially dodge maybe if multiple enemies walk up to me, because I don't know, maybe it could happen. So now the green cards usually meant as repositioning. This character is really weird that my opponent is playing. They can place a lot of tokens, teleport around. So it is quite weird character because when I put tokens with my attacks or abilities, they don't care that much about being blocked because they can teleport around. Slightly irritating, and as we are able to see, they also have high defense. So the weird combination of some teleport mobility and high defense makes them tough matchup for me. But on the other hand, also I'm tough matchup for them because they also cannot really hope to threaten me too much. An opponent walks up to me, which can be dangerous. The teleporting guy that I was talking about is, oh, okay, that's different. They decided to walk up next to my ally. So this is always dangerous for because my ally is mostly ranged. Mostly, like it is basically ranged character, and this enemy can be ranged, but also their gold is melee, and one of their reds is melee and ranged, and they have a lot of attack items, which means they can really pack a punch. Most probably, like if they have melee red, just by some basic, I don't need to know that character, but just by basic knowledge of the game, I can guess that they can probably kill my ally through even their strongest defense. With that high number of attack items, when my ally doesn't have any defense items, and my ally is ranged, and this enemy is melee, This is how the numbers work, which also showcases that you don't need to know every number or every character, every card in the game to be able to have some sense of the game and how it works. Although it can be really difficult sometimes to follow everything that is happening. Right now, I just decided to play my low initiative card, the green card, to see what will happen, basically. Wait, what? Or maybe not. I think, yeah, probably some discussion, strategic discussion, so I'll try to skip through that. Because there can definitely be a lot of stuff to discuss for, even if not who is specifically doing what, but discuss what are lines of play. Because right now I can consider, do I want to disrupt our enemies maybe? Should I walk up to the minion? What should I do here? I'm not quite sure myself yet. Okay, lots of discussion and yeah. So this is the highlight of the round. First, my ally walked up to this minion to be ready to take it and unlock ability to take the heavy. And now this is the highlight of this matchup. Our enemy played his gold card, so his fastest card, with initiative 12 because he has the initiative item, and he hits for 7, which is quite a lot. Hits for 7. Uh, it fortunately, my ally will be able to defend if he will be hit by that. So this is his decision for now. What does he want to do? Does he want to kill a minion? No, he decides to hit our ally. And this is the unique scenario when usually silver card, for almost every character, silver card has the lowest defense. This is very unique for this character that for them it is the highest defense, and it also is actually very high, especially considering that it is ranged character. 7 defense on a card is a lot. Not every character has such a high defense. So it is actually very, very tight and quite enough. 4 plus 3 is 7. They showed 7, so they were able to defend. Now, there is a lot of positional game. What will happen here? Hmm. Okay, my ally runs away and goes next to this minion. No, what? No, they don't go there. They go somewhere else. And then enemy takes another minion. Ah, and they have a very nasty ability that they move me away. So for my slow character, this is actually a very heavy punishment because I am far away from an action. I cannot support my allies too much and not quite sure what to do. I debate a little bit and then I decided, I have that my blue with radius 4, so I want to position myself so that I want to have another enemy in range, and Here I will be next to the minion, or I will maybe be able to hit it, or maybe I'll be in range to misposition that enemy here. There is the one thing that I didn't consider, that my enemy, maybe not. You know what? Ignore that. And now this is very interesting round because here is quite interesting line of play because my ally wants to kill this minion. But if they stay in place, this enemy will be able to charge in line and kill them. So do they trade their life for the minion, or do they run away? I think the right. This is, what do you do? Right? What do you do? I think there's a tricky part. Is it tricky or not tricky? Yeah. And then this enemy moves up again, threatening dangerous attacks. So we were fighting for the wave, wanting to win the wave, and in the middle of that, our enemies decided, this enemy doesn't attack minion, weakens our ally. This enemy is in position to charge our ally, and then they move up, threatening the kill. Or at least an attack. But yeah, also a kill because they still have that their red card they can shoot or hit with. Now I have high initiative on my card, but no one is around the around any terrain, obstacles or rock, so I cannot use ability of my card, which is pesky. So I can just only move with this card. And I actually start becoming scared because I used my red before to hit a minion, and now I'm using blue, my second highest defense, to move. So I don't have too much defense anymore, and I'm afraid that uh, both my enemies may be able to shoot or do something nasty and maybe even kill me because I'm standing next to the minion that is decreasing my defense, and my uh, my highest defense cards are already in play. So after some thinking, I decided to move here far away. Probably unnecessarily, looking back. I should have stayed. Yeah, I needed to stay and assist my allies. My ally shoot the enemy, but uh, they survived by discarding their red, so at least they cannot attack. And I'm just simply too far away to support my allies because I was too afraid. And actually needlessly, because I still had my gold card that I left from previously. That was like my entire plan to leave it potentially even defensively. So even if I was in a danger, I would be able to step away from attacks. So this was simply a misplay by my part where I just ran away for no good reason. And then our enemy walks up And this is also quite important. This enemy is quite tricky, has very unique gold card that breaks the rule of the highest, that your gold card is the highest initiative, because his gold card is low initiative, and has a very unique ability that he can copy a card from an enemy. So basically, our ally here used the card, red attack to hit an enemy, and now they can try copying that card and shoot them with their own card, which is nasty. And probably this is their plan here. So our ally that died, he was being charged, as I said before, and they're going back here to the action. Now, this is interesting because now our ally can decide. They can shoot a minion, adjacent minion, which is the heavy that is next to them. But if they do that, they will push the wave, they will get a lot of coins. But if they do that, as I mentioned before, the enemy will have the ability to copy their card and shoot them and kill them with the card. So instead, wait, no, actually, I was wrong. Because there was a tie, so first our opponent moves and has ability to move, and now it is different because the tie flipped. He is able to shoot and kill our enemy. But he decided, but if he does so, he will stay in place, and then the enemy can use their red card to shoot them. So instead, they just step away, so they are not able, they cannot die to their red being copied. The thing is that I noticed something that I hope that my enemy will miss, is that instead of copying this card of our ally, he can copy card of a different ally, this ally. And with this card, it has only range 2, but actually this enemy has a range item. They can easily copy this card and shoot and kill our ally anyway, regardless of the sidestep. So what I do, I realized that the attacks that the enemy can copy are not strong enough to kill me because I still have 5 defense. I just hope that maybe I will mess up a little bit with their concentration and I will walk next to them. Oh, you know what? I'm safe. And now this is something really funny that, yeah, this is something really funny that can happen because this is the card when you play your actions, and as I mentioned before, you cannot talk during this phase, but our opponent, blue player, find a way around that and player pay attention to his cursor. Blue player also realized that his ally can kill, can score a kill by copying this card. He cannot speak, so what does he do? He just moves his cursor from the middle of the map toward this card. He just keeps moving it like he would want to point his ally what he has to do multiple times, which is a little bit funny. Yeah, again and again. It is obviously illegal, but you know what? I don't blame him too much because I sometimes have the urge to talk and to speak, and actually, it doesn't I think they deserve benefit of the doubt too, because if for me sometimes it does happen that if I have a focus on the card, I move my cursor multiple times over that card. Still, it was a little bit of funny. So yeah, another level up. I got another card, even more tankiness, and I have my red card buffed up to the highest level. Because we killed more minions, the wave pushed itself, and we are fighting on our opponent beach. It is interesting position in a sense that one enemy is close, our allies are, then our two allies are close, and then there are two enemies with me. So I'm considering what can I do to potentially, probably I'm not planning to walk up to the beach and kill those minions. I don't think so. But what can I do to disrupt the enemies? So if I will alone disrupt or maybe even stop two enemies, I just need to pay attention to not die. And it will be big win when one enemy will be against two allies. One of the obvious tricks is the silver card that we talked before, and I already used once. Silver cards are not often used in many cases. That's the case about them, that they have the unique, some special ability that is very situational. But if I use it now, I could place some rocks around opponents to make their path to the uh, beach longer. The issue is that, as we saw multiple times, this enemy here opens each round with their green that allows them to teleport over. So if I lock them with the rocks, they'll just teleport over. And this enemy here also, not sure, but they could have some teleporting card, and also they are next to my ally. So I consider that maybe they don't even want to move that round. Maybe they want to hit them. So there are simply too many possibilities for my locking rocks to be not working. So what do? I just open with the green. This is usually the good opener. You watch in some cases what your opponents are doing, and then you can adapt to that. And then maybe I will find an opportunity next round to lock my enemies with my rocks. Yeah. Choosing cards, leveling up, sometimes discussing strategy. So yeah, we have in the cards here. Okay, let's play it out. Yeah, okay. This enemy was next to our minion, so they just played their gold to kill the minion. This is quite straightforward, and sometimes straightforward things are good to do. Now this is fun what my ally is doing. He played his blue card with the ability to push enemy, so he moved our enemy away from the beach, which is pretty cool. I use my green that we saw before to roll over opponent, and you know what? So I decided to just move up. Lead card, so I jumped over an opponent, and they are now a little bit further behind. Then our enemies are tied because one has 5 initiative, the second one has 4 initiative and initiative item. So they decide between themselves what they want to do. And yeah, some nasty teleports. We went over that multiple times. and yeah, placing rocks wouldn't do much. Actually, maybe not. Ah, yeah. Hmm. Would it? Would it not? Not sure. Probably no. Probably not. And this is interesting. This enemy walks up to both me and my ally, so he just went into the middle of us. And our our ally actually, this is funny how this all played out. I hoped to lock our enemies. One of our enemies just teleported far away. Okay, one stayed behind, a little bit locked between us, so it will be a tense situation. And now this ally, he is really far away. Like if he would like to move around, there's a long path around. So instead, he decides to move up a little bit uh, to have range. Like this. Yeah, so he just moves up a little bit to have a range so they can shoot this enemy here, this minion here. So, so now I decided, you know what, uh, I have that enemy next to me and have my strong attack. Uh, they have no defense items, so if I manage to hit them, they will die. I'm not sure. I thought that probably they don't. I will not manage to hit them, but probably I will force some reaction from them, maybe step back. But even if they use their pesky gold to like move me away and hit my ally, this red has very neat ability that I pick two enemies next to the terrain and I force them to discard a card so I can still discard these two enemies. And in the worst case scenario, and even that doesn't work, I mean, this is my highest movement card. I will position somewhere. So let's see what happens. I jumped a little bit too far. Okay. So it appears that my enemy played their red card too, and it is indeed extremely nasty card. It has higher initiative than my card, so he'll go first. And it has extremely high attack, 7, with 3 attack items. So he will go before me and he can kill me. And there's actually a lot of red cards. And this is interesting. Our ally had really neat special card that he can shoot an enemy, and if that enemy is next to 3 obstacles, they can shoot again, so they will shoot an enemy and kill a minion. But the issue is that our enemy is able to defend, and what more, this is a special defense card that they defended and they are immune to any attack actions for the rest of the turn. Which is really bad because basically we cannot do anything to him anymore. And now he goes before us anyway. He hits for 7 with 3 attack items, so for 10, which is insane. And that card has a lot of abilities. We can ignore the first paragraph and just read the last sentence that he may repeat it on a different unit. So basically, he hits my ally and kills him, and then repeats it and kills me, making me making us lose the game because we are higher level characters, so we lose multiple life tokens on death, and the game is over, which is quite funny. Uh, it wasn't the how can I say it? It wasn't the best ending of the game I would have hoped for. I was a little bit surprised by what was happening. In theory, I was able to see the card last round when it was discarded, but you know, with so much happening, you can't really reliably track everything. So I was surprised by the card. I thought that my character is one of the tankiest character and is, and I had defense items, so uh, I shouldn't be too afraid to die. But it turns out that I should be. And with the repeat effect, it really is crazy, crazy card that he was able to kill us both. But hey, it is melee character, right? How often you're able to stand next to two opponents and kill them both with your red, which is the slower attack, right? If I played any other card and I kept my red in hand, I would be able to defend red versus red. So at least I would have that going. Also, so yeah. On the other hand, imagine yourself being in position of this player and being able to defend an attack, being immune, and then kill two enemies at the same round. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So, this is quite long video with a lot of stuff. I hope you had some sense, even if this is a new game. This is something that I wonder. It would be good if someone gave me any feedback. Like, even if you don't know this game, did you see anything that was happening, or was it too chaotic? Or me narrowing down to only few parts even each round helped to see how the game plays, how does it look like it, maybe, or is it interesting or not? I actually like this game very much because even on the lower skill levels, you are still able to navigate around with some base intuition of how the color works and some base core mechanics and that part of the design. But also when you have more experience and higher knowledge, and you know what characters can do more or less, and know what are their numbers, uh, there's even a lot of like depth in strategies and planning around and some trickery and some soft rock paper scissors going out and going on basically. Probably more going on than going out. Obviously, this game has a lot of tools. I showed, you can say, something that is an an average higher skill game, but simplified to be able to watch through. We played higher complexity characters. We played 3 versus 3. There are complexity rating to characters, so you can definitely pick only the simplest characters for first games to learn how it works, and you can play 2v2 which when much less is happening on the board. So the game with all the moving parts is actually much simpler to learn than it may look like. Uh, but also in the long run, I think that 3v3 is where the game really shines, because if you play a little bit more and get some more experience and more knowledge about the game, you realize that 2v2 is quite uh, simple and dry, because with two characters you usually are able to navigate around, that when you feel that you're in danger, you can like step away, defend, or play fairly safe while killing minions, and with someone tries to be too aggressive, they're just behind in killing minions and uh, can be behind basically in the game. So sometimes game revolves around simple go to the minions, kill minions, go to the minions, kill minions, and sometimes even through the majority of the game, there's not much opportunity to interact. So if you don't ever see like being able to play this game with 6 players, I think there is a limit. This is my personal opinion, but I think that there is a limit how much you can squeeze, how much fun you can squeeze out of it. Definitely there's a lot. It's not like you will play 2 times and have it solved. I probably maybe the comparison is bad. Sometimes you can definitely play 20, 30 games, 2v2 games, and still have fun and not run into the issue that I mentioned, because there's so many characters, so many combinations and possibilities that there are ways to surprise uh, enemies, even sometimes allies, or to find some place. But after some time, uh, it can feel a little bit soft. About the most chaos, the most fun, the most team play, and especially sometimes finding your role when your 2 allies are killing minions, then one like 2 players in a team are killing minions, and there's maybe sometimes not enough minions for everyone to focus on the minions. Then that third player can work on disruption, on building opportunities for some interaction or kills. So yeah, that's it. That's actually quite a lot of talk for that. But also, that's quite a game. I hoped you liked it. If if there would be any requests to showcase any other type of games, maybe simpler ones, just 2v2s, or maybe more chaotic ones, or more games, or more less games like that, let me know. I think something will appear in the future anyway. We will see.